Hello, my name is Maria, and welcome to my little corner on the internet. I've decided to come on YouTube and talk about my healing journey, which includes weight loss and getting over a lot of illnesses that were associated with my weight. So I'm going to talk about the cost of obesity. I had a lot of issues around my obesity because at one point I was 350 pounds, which is a whole lot of weight. Today, I am 166.2, which I find very amusing because it turns out that is the average weight of the American woman at 5'4". I am 5'4", and I weigh 166, so I am now officially average sized. And I've actually lost more weight than I currently weigh, which is quite a bit. So I thought I'd come up here and talk about it because I know there are people who are struggling, who have a lot of health issues related to their weight and are looking to find a different way of living. So I thought I would talk about it. I started gaining weight when I was 8 years old. By the time I was 10 years old, I was 140, 150, around there. I kind of yo-yoed because I started dieting at that time. And I started going to a lot of doctors at that time because, of course, I stood out like a sore thumb being as heavy as I was at that age. It didn't work out. I kept on gaining weight and growth was gradual, but it continued, and it felt normal to me at the time. Because I had obese family, because my father was obese, I thought I'm supposed to be this way, that this is natural for me. And it really wasn't. So most of my adult life has been as an obese woman, morbidly obese, super morbidly obese, with my BMI being between 50 and 60. And of course, the stigma of being overweight, the discrimination, the fat shaming, the depression, the isolation that all go with it have been horrendous. I have to say, being as overweight as I was cost me my life. Not just in terms of shortening my lifespan, but also just being trapped in my own body, not being able to do a lot of things, and this belief that, this is who I am. This is the way I'm supposed to be. And, maybe there are people who are supposed to be like that. I don't think I was supposed to be like that because obviously I am half the woman I used to be, and I'm thriving. I'm living, and I'm healthy. For once in my life, I am healthy. And so I thought I'd share with all of you, how I did it. So I'm going to talk about my health for a bit because my obesity caused a lot of health problems. The biggest one being type 2 diabetes, because of course I was not eating well. At one point I was taking 40 units of insulin a day. It wasn't just the medications. I did the pills. That wasn't enough. I started off on Byetta. That wasn't enough. Then it was the insulin, and I finally got things manageable when I was on 40 units of insulin a day. I also had fibromyalgia, psoriatic arthritis, psoriasis problems. I had painful neuropathy, ingrown toenails that were really painful because I was, I had a really fat foot. High cholesterol problems. I had breathing issues. I was prone to sickness. If I got sick, it was going to be a while before I was going to get healthy again because, I had a lot of issues. I had mobility problems. I had a lot of mobility problems. When you're that big, it happens. I would often use the little carts in the stores. I would use a cane. I had a foldable cane that I kept in my purse that I would take out if it got to be too much for me. And when I was really, really bad with arthritis, I used that cane a lot. I had a lot of skin problems, rashes and boils, and a ton of stretch marks. And I had a lot of back problems because there was obviously a lot of compression, especially on my lower spine. And to top it all off, I have a tad bit of scoliosis. So there was a lot of pain. There was a lot of pain, and I felt very, very trapped in my body. And I was sick, just very sick. And I couldn't even see a way out. I mean, it got so bad that I was even being examined for thrombosis because I had low blood pressure in my legs and in my toes, and I was numb, and the list goes on and on because I just had a lot of health issues. So, because I had a lot of health issues, of course, here comes the answer: surgery. I can say that I did not do this through surgery because I chickened out. I was approved twice, once in the 90s, and then I was approved back in 2008, 2009, something like that. I always chickened out. The idea of surgery just really scared me. So that didn't happen. Too often I was looking for a way out that was quick and easy. Which fad diet do I do next? And I did them all. I have experience with a lot of fad diets that did me no good. I had to make a lifestyle change, and that's basically what I've done. So today I am vegan, I am gluten-free, and I am slimmer. I am a completely different person, I can say. And I can say it's also not a quick fix because this didn't happen in 1 year. I know there are people who come up here and say they lost, all this weight and it only took a year. It did not take a year. It took me several. But, considering I spent most of my life being over 300 pounds, I'm happy to be where I am today. Having gone at it slowly, every change I made, I was able to make it a permanent part of my life and a part of who I am, instead of seeing it just as a quick fix, because that's what diets were for me in the past. They were just quick fixes. I'll lose this weight and then I'll start to incorporate some of the old foods that I miss, and that's just not the case anymore. This was permanent, and I'm happy with my food choices today. I don't miss the things I used to think I was going to miss. I don't eat meat, I don't eat dairy, I don't eat cheese, I don't eat bread, and I'm okay with it. So it's all right, because in the process of losing all of this weight, I gave up all of the medication. And I was on a lot of medication. I was on metformin, Byetta, Lantus, gabapentin, Lipitor, Enbrel, methotrexate, hydrocodone, prednisone, glipizide. The changes might be drastic to some folks out there, but they have been well worth it for me. I made a huge change in my life, and it's paid off. It's really paid off. And it didn't happen overnight. I had to do one little thing at a time because, my little mind just couldn't take it all at once. But I'm no longer trapped in my body. I'm not. Life is wonderful. My health is a priority. My life is a priority. And I thought I would come up here and share it with those of you who aren't sure that it's possible. especially if you're not the kind of person that can make the change all at once, because I know I couldn't. So here I am. I hope that this might help you out in some way. So I'll be producing some videos and maybe even some recipe videos, and we'll see how it goes. Thank you.